What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Ethan Horror, and today we are going to be looking at the 7 VHS movies. We're going to be ranking all of them from worst to best. I wanted to do the segments, but we'll do the segments after this. We're going to do the movies first. Actually, we won't do that after, because I do have to get back to the tier list series. So actually, I'll do this video, then another video in between, then we'll get back to the tier list video, and then we'll rank all the segments, because I'm going to need a while, because there's like 30 of those. But there's only 7 VHS movies, so let's get started with the worst VHS movie. Coming in last without a fraction of any sort of doubt in my mind. It is the bottom, and then all the other ones are like at least 2.5 stars, 3 stars better than this one. The worst VHS movie, without a shadow of a doubt, is VHS Viral. Not only does this movie have the least amount of segments with 4, it has the least amount of good segments with 0, because the wraparound is the worst segment by a landslide to ever come out of a VHS movie. Vicious Circles is genuinely awful, it is so terrible that it is unwatchable. And not only is it unwatchable because it doesn't make any sense, and they don't explain a single bit of anything you could possibly need for this to actually be a complete story, but it's also unwatchable because, well, it's glitching the entire time. There is glitches on screen literally the entire segment, to the point where you can't even see what's going on, let alone understand it. So that's awful. Then we get Dante the Great, which is a terrible segment. It is about a guy who stumbles upon the cloak of Harry Houdini, and the cloak wants to eat people. That is the plot of this. And it is also told in a documentary style, which isn't unusual for the VHS movies, but it feels very out of place here. And there are parts of Dante the Great that are just not found footage. There's one thing I expect out of every found footage segment, and that is that it is found footage. There's literally parts in this where it's not found footage, and it is so infuriating because it's the one thing this series has going for it. Then you have Parallel Monsters. Parallel Monsters has an incredible concept. It's about a guy who creates a portal to an alternate dimension, and he switches places with an alternate version of himself. That could be a very terrifying concept. What do they do with it? Dick monsters. I wish I was kidding. And the last one is the only watchable one, Bone Storm. It's about a bunch of skater kids who beat the crap out of skeleton creatures. That is the whole thing. It's just them beating them up. It actually got a couple of laughs out of me, so I'll give you that. But yeah, this movie is just terrible. Coming in at number 6, the only other VHS movie that I would say I don't like. I'm okay on it, but number 6 is the original VHS. Now, is it awful? No. Is it good? Also, no. It's just very middle. It's just very okay. You get the wraparound, which is, again, one of the worst segments in the entire series. The wraparound is never good. Actually, I take that back. It's good one time. But in this, it is terrible. It's about a bunch of horrible, horrible dudes that you want to see die in the most awful, horrendous ways possible, and you don't get to see them die. It's just them finding tapes and then disappearing, which is stupid, because you want to see them die. So the wraparound's awful. But then you get genuinely one of the best segments of the entire series in Amateur Night, which it is scary, there's good performances, you hate the characters, but guess what? This time you get to see them die, so that's a plus. And it's just a great segment, and is one of 2 VHS segments to get turned into a feature-length film. Then you have Second Honeymoon, which is creepy. It's alright, not the best. There's parts of it that I like, parts of it that I don't. I think it's pretty mid. I never like using that word, but I feel like it fits here. Then you have Tuesday the 17th, which is kind of a slasher in a way. It's like this glitchy monster killing people. I predicted that the girl was in on it pretty quickly. It's just kind of a basic little slasher short. It's fine. Nothing really terrible about it, just not good. Then we have 10/31/98, which is fine. It's just kind of a bunch of demon stuff happening, like cups and stuff getting thrown around. They're getting chased by a cult. It's fine. And then the sick thing that happened to Emily when she was younger is my second favorite of this movie. That's the word. It's just the performances are good. It's decently creepy. I like the twist that it turns out that it's actually an alien and not supernatural. I thought that was pretty cool. The effects are pretty good overall. This one's pretty solid. But just we get 2 good segments, 1 awful segment, and 3 very mediocre ones, so it's going to be down here at number 6. Coming in at number 5, all 5 of these I like. These are all solid movies. Even my number 5, which I don't love, I'd still say I like the movie, so that's good. My number 5 is going to be VHS Beyond, the most recent VHS movie. Kind of like the original VHS. I don't hate any of the segments. I guess I did hate one from VHS, but like I don't hate them. They're just not incredible. You start off with the wraparound abduction adduction, which is fine. It is a documentary style again. I like that this actually feels like a realistic documentary that would happen nowadays. But the footage that it was building up to felt very anticlimactic. It builds up this entire time like, oh, this is terrifying footage, and then you get like 10 seconds at the end. Didn't love that, but it was fine. Then you get Stork, which was actually my second favorite from this one. If you'd have told me Jordan Downey, the guy who made the Thanksgiving movies, would make one of my favorite VHS shorts, I would have punched you in the face, because that is, wow, good job, Jordan. I didn't think, I mean, yeah, if you've seen the Thanksgiving movies, you know. But his puppet work is great, and it's on full effect here. There's some great puppets in this. I think it's very scary. I think it is the better version of Bone Storm, which is just a bunch of SWAT team officers in this one, just shooting people, or people, monsters, things. It's gory, it's fun, it's great. There's great puppets, great effects. I love Stork. Then you get Dream Girl, which I thought was very basic. I like the performance of the leading actress, but otherwise, it's just kind of introduce monster, kill everybody, short end. That's kind of basic plot here. It's fine. I like the performance of the lead actress, and the song that she does, like the music video too, very catchy. Then you get Live and Let Dive, which is easily my favorite of this one, and one of my favorite VHS segments, period. I think it is terrifying. I think it is fun. I think it nails the fun, terrifying, realistic thing. I know it has an alien in it, so it's not necessarily super realistic, but it's still very scary, very good. I like this one a lot. Then you get Fur Babies, which I do not like in any way, shape, or form. It's Tusk, but with dogs. And if you're wondering, is it actually, like, did they base it off of Tusk? Well, it's directed by Christian and Justin Long, and if you don't know who Justin Long is, well, that's the guy from Tusk. So what do you know? The guy who I would expect to, I'd expect him to, you know, will have learned his lesson from that, but he doesn't, and he just makes dog Tusk, and it's just as bad as Tusk. And then the last one you get is Stowaway, which is very good. I actually really like this one. It's directed by Kate Siegel, who's the girl from Hush. I didn't know that until I looked it up, but that is true. And it's kind of reminded me of The Fly, because she stumbles upon a alien spaceship that can heal you, because she like pricks her fingers and then like magic particles come down and heal her finger. And it turns out that they don't have human DNA. They instead have, I think, lizard DNA. And so when they heal her, they're using the wrong DNA. But eventually the spaceship takes off and she is like cut up really badly. And so it heals her, but it morphs her with a lizard DNA. So it just kind of creates like a hybrid, like in The Fly. And, at the end, when she's like begging to be killed, she can't die. She's forced to live like this for essentially forever as she keeps getting morphed with this lizard because even if she does like cut herself or something, the particles will just heal her. So it's a very horrific ending to a very good short. You got 3 good ones in this one, 2 mediocre ones, and 1 bad one. So it's just going to average out towards the bottom. Coming in at number 4, I have VHS 85, which I would say from now on, I like all of these movies. This top 4, spoiler alert, is the Years trilogy and then 1 other one, and I like all of them. So even at 4, just know that this is a movie I like. But VHS 85 just had the most of the top 4 segments that I just didn't like. I like all of the segments in this one, but I like all of the segments in the other ones more. That's the only really thing here. You start off with the wraparound Total Copy. It's pretty good. It's just kind of like the one from Beyond, but done better, because at the end, you actually get more footage with the alien and him tearing people up. So I like the ending a little bit better with this one. I think it's a better wraparound, probably the best wraparound of the series, honestly. Then you get No Wake, which I think is the only VHS segment to be 2 parts, to actually continue the story into another segment. And this is one of my favorite segments of the entire series. I think it is very terrifying. No Wake, not Ambrosia, which is the second part, but No Wake I think is terrifying. Ambrosia is still good. The way that you see them like enact their revenge and the whole concept of that one I think is decent too. But that's probably my least favorite of this movie. God of Death is solid. I think it's very terrifying. The earthquake is very well done, very terrifying. Just the cult demon stuff didn't really work for me. I thought it was a little bit boring, basic, but it's okay. Then we had Techno God, or TKNOGD, which was pretty good. I thought it was just a nice little short fun segment, just for the middle here. I thought it was fine. And then Dream Kill, which is, I think, my favorite of these. I don't... No, I'd say I like No Wake better, but it's close. It's close between Dream Kill and No Wake. Dream Kill is actually in the Black Phone universe, which that was very cool to learn. I loved that little twist because I love the Black Phone, so it was very good. Very fun to learn that. But I thought it was very good. I thought it was well acted. I thought it was a great concept. I thought it was terrifying. My favorite, again, probably tied with No Wake. I think they're both good for their own reasons. But yeah, very solid VHS movie, a movie that I genuinely like. But just the average of the segments is just a little bit lower than the average liking of the other 2 movies, or the other 3, I mean. Yeah, I like this movie. It just, the other ones I like more. Coming in at number 3 is going to be VHS 2, the only one of the original trilogy to get in my top 3. Because this has 2 of my favorite segments in the entire series. Like, when I do that big ranking, I'm pretty sure 2 of these segments will reach my top 5. But the wraparound will not, because the wraparound is just... It's basically the wraparound from the original, but you don't hate the characters. It's boring. It's basic. It's fine. It's just boring. But the other segments are pretty good. You get Safe Haven, which I don't know if it's actually the first segment, but it's the first one I want to talk about because it's one of the best VHS segments, period. Like, just in the entire series, this is one of the best segments ever. It's probably my second favorite segment in the entire series. I love it. It's very good, very gory, very fun. It's just, I love it. The monster looks great. All of the designs and creatures in VHS always look great, but this one always stands out as one of my favorites. I love Safe Haven. And the other one I really love is A Ride in the Park, which is a zombie story, which I love zombies. If you guys know me, I love The Walking Dead. I love Dawn of the Dead, the remake. I don't really love the original, sorry. But I love zombie stories, and this is a very unique one because it is from the perspective of the zombie. The person that we are seeing from the GoPro is someone who has been bitten by a zombie, which you could have done something where the guy has the GoPro and he's going through the zombie apocalypse, killing zombies. But no, he is one of the zombies, and I think that's a very good, honestly, a very fun twist on a zombie story, is seeing it from the zombie's perspective, just seeing him, like, he hears a noise, he walks over and goes and attacks people. It's very fun, very good segment, one of my favorites. And then the other two are fine. We get Phase 1 clinical trials, which I thought was pretty scary. The acting was all right. The concept was there. They had a good concept. I just think the execution could have used a little bit of work. It was still a very good segment. Then we have Slumber Party Alien Abduction, which is the other, besides Amateur Night, to get a feature-length adaptation, which I thought was weird because this isn't one of the best of the franchise. I think it's a fine segment, but I don't know why it was the one that got the feature-length movie. But it's solid. There's a very good scene in this where a kid is in a sleeping bag and gets dragged in the water, and that was horrific to me. But I think the kids act very realistically like actual kids, and especially their interactions with the older sister, I think, are very realistic. So I liked the acting. It was solid. It was fun. Not one of my personal favorites, but still a solid segment and in a very good VHS movie. I'm going to go with what I had originally. And number 2 is VHS 99. But just know, they're tied. This, I was writing down which segments this had so that I remembered, or which segments this movie had, and I just kept writing them. I was like, oh my god, this has so many good segments. How is this not my number 1? The wraparound is kind of just like some toy soldiers. It's fine, but it also leads to the Gawkers, which is one of my favorite segments in the entire series because the twist at the end, oh my god, I loved it. It's about these kids who you hate. They're teenage boys. They're being pervy teenage boys. And they sneak into this girl's house to put a camera in her house. Turns out this girl is Medusa, or one of the Medusa creatures. I don't know what they're called. I loved that twist so much, and I love this segment. I think it's genuinely great. You also get Suicide Bid, which is one of the scariest segments for me. I'm not personally claustrophobic, but this movie made me claustrophobic, especially with the scene where the coffin starts filling with water. Oh my god, that was horrible. That was, Jesus Christ, that made me, whew, didn't like it. Shredding is very good. You get some characters you hate and one character you like, and they get picked off one by one by some zombie girls. It's fun. It's fine. Then you get To Hell and Back, which is fantastic. It looks very good. All of the landscapes, all of the creatures, they all look very good. Very creepy. I love the concept here of them going to hell or getting accidentally transported there and having to come back. And I love that they write, I forgot her name. They write her name in the book at the end. So I like that segment as well. Least favorite of these is going to be Ozzy's Dungeon, however. I like the first half where they're in the, like, fake, what's the word? Game show. That's the word. I like how they recreate all of that. I think it's very good. And I love the effect of the girl's leg breaking. It is so hard to watch. And then they replay it like 3 times. So it is incredibly hard to watch. And then we get the second half, which I didn't think was great. There's a lot of poop in it, which, yeah, just poop. Where he goes through Stephen Ogg from GTA, or The Walking Dead, who goes through a horror version of the obstacle course that he had for the actual game show, and then they eventually bring him, or the girl, to Ozzy to grant her wish, and she wishes that they all die, so they get their faces melted off. It's a pretty solid segment, just my least favorite of the 5. Coming in at number 1, basically tied with 99, is going to be VHS 94. For one reason, there is great segments in this, but this has 2 of my top 5 segments. That is the only reason I gave it the edge above 99, because Storm Drain and The Subject are in this one, and I love both of those. But let's talk about the ones that are not as amazing as those ones, but still pretty good. Holy Hell is the only one that I don't really like. It's, again, the wraparound, so that's the only reason I'm forgiving you for this bad one, is that all of the wraparounds suck, besides the one in VHS 85. All of the wraparounds suck, so I'm forgiving you for this, but just know I don't like Holy Hell. Then we have The Empty Wake, which is a very slow burn, kind of like Paranormal Activity-esque segment where she has a wake that nobody comes to, and it like a bunch of creepy stuff starts happening Paranormal Activity style, and it ends with the monster eventually being the dead body. He rises up and kills her, so pretty solid segment. And then you get The Subject, or not The Subject, that's the one I love, Terror, which is the vampire one, which I was shocked that they had never done a vampire story in VHS, and this is the only vampire one they have. And it's very fun because you know how, like, usually vampires melt in the sunlight? Well, in this one, they just explode. Like, not like Abigail, where they explode into, like, blood. They literally just bomb. Like, it's like they just dropped a bomb. Like, fiery explosion. It's super funny. Especially that one scene where the guy comes out and he's covered in the vampire blood, and you learn you don't even have to be a vampire. If you're just covered in their blood, you're gonna explode in the sunlight. So that was another good scene. I love the design of the vampire. It looks very good. So very good. But the 2 standouts, obviously. Let's start off with The Subject, which is not my favorite of the 2. My favorite Storm Drain. That's my favorite segment in the entire series. But The Subject is also very good because I think a lot of the effects look very good. Some of the CGI doesn't look incredible, but all of the practical effects look very good. The practical gore, the practical, like, mechanical stuff that, like, makes the main girl look like a robot and that other guy look like a freaking behemoth. I think those look pretty good. I like that it's just kind of a fun segment, but also has some very scary moments, some very good moments. It's just a very good segment all around. And then you get Storm Drain, which is easily my favorite. Like, when I saw this segment, I knew for 100% certainty that this was going to be my favorite segment of the entire VHS series. I hadn't even seen 99, 85, and beyond, and I knew that this was going to be my favorite segment because it is scary as hell. I love the look of Ratma. He is so cool in the little bit we get to see of him. It's very cool. I think it's scary. I think it's incredibly well acted. And the ending has one of the best endings to any VHS segment of the series, where she vomits and makes the guy's face melt off. So, I mean, I love this segment. It's terrifying. It's incredibly well acted. The creatures look great. I think Ratma is, out of all the creatures in the series, probably looks the best, honestly, out of just... There's a lot of creatures, and they all look fantastic for the most part, but I really thought Ratma stuck out as one of the best looking creatures of the entire series. So, yeah, this is going to be my favorite VHS segment, and that makes VHS 94 my favorite VHS movie. Hail Ratma. Don't ask why I'm outside, but turns out I forgot to record an outro for that video. So, like, subscribe, comment down below your ranking of the VHS movies, and otherwise I'll see you guys next time. Don't need a long outro.